Welcome back. Dr. Emily Grossman's our science expert, and she says there's no question too challenging for her to answer. So we asked for your questions, and this is what we've got. So here we go, Emily. Henry Clydes from Surrey says, my wife insists that toast tastes exactly the same whether it's toasted from the freezer or from fresh bread. But I disagree, he says. Please resolve the argument.
Yes, this is a common argument, and actually the science says that it should make no difference at all whether you toast bread from fresh or from the freezer. It should taste exactly the same. However, it is probably likely that it's more fresh if you actually put it straight into the freezer when you bought it, rather than having left it out for a little while before you put it in the toaster. So it probably does actually taste better from frozen.
Better from frozen?
Probably because it's fresher.
Right,
but what's really interesting, though, is that I didn't actually know this, but I always keep my bread in the fridge because I thought, well, it keeps it fresher, like with vegetables. But I've just found out that that's actually not a good idea, because if you keep bread in the fridge, it actually hardens quicker. Because the reaction that causes bread to go hard is the crystallization of the starch, and that actually occurs faster at lower temperatures, unlike most chemical reactions.
You see, it was worth tuning in, wasn't it? I mean, not for me, but just for the information. Gaynor Levington of Wimbledon, is it true that according to theory, bumblebees shouldn't actually be able to fly?
Yes, that's a funny one. According to aerodynamic theory, bumblebees, their wings aren't big enough or strong enough to support their weight if they were flying by pure aerodynamics. But that assumes that their wings are like an aeroplane and they kind of beat. Well, obviously not beat, but they're flat like an aeroplane. Yeah. Whereas actually, they rotate more like the propellers of a helicopter, which means that they rotate more air above them, which means they have more lift and so they can fly.
So bumblebees get lift by being helicopters. Fascinating stuff. Yorkshire Gritters, via Twitter. Hey, you're not out there already, are you? Is it icy up in Yorkshire? Hi, George, in September. Does molasses melt ice on the road better than salt?
It sounds like a funny idea, but it does. They found that if you mix molasses with salt, with brine or rock salt, and then put it on the roads before it snows, it actually forms a sticky substance that the snow binds to when it falls, stopping the snow binding to the road, which means that it can be cleared more easily. Plus, it lowers the melting point of water more so than salt alone, which means that the snowplows have more time to clear it before it starts to solidify and form black ice.
You know an awful lot.
Do you know,
it's scary, isn't it?
They did this in Worcestershire, and the cows on the common all came off the common onto the roads and started licking the roads.
Yes, it does what Yorkshire Gritters, but the cows will eat your road. Right. And Jordan Cox via Twitter says, is there such a thing as comfort food? Well, we all know there is, but foods, though, that will make you feel better, or is it just psychological?
I'm afraid it's just psychological. It makes you feel good because you remember happy feelings from the last time you ate it, if you ate it in a happy time, or maybe the person who last ate it with you. It might remind you of somebody or something happy, like your mum's chicken soup.
You eat salads in arguably the happiest time of the year, summer, when it's warm and lovely.
I don't eat
salad. You don't. Most people eat salads in summer when it's warm and lovely, but they regard shepherd's pie as comfort food, and you eat that in cold weather.
But when it's cold and you eat shepherd's pie, then you feel happy because now you're warm. Maybe.
One thing I've learned, you know, is never argue with... If you have a question for Emily, send it to us, alan@itv.com, or tweet us @Titchmarsh Show, and our very clever scientist, Emily, will be back next Tuesday with the answers to things you never thought you'd ever know. My thanks to Emily Grossman. Thank you, Emily. Thank you.